I've seen a handful of PC gamers release statements celebrating the rise of PC. Like, ooh,
Well, yeah, if we're PC gamers and we play on the PC, we're probably happy about the fact that the platform is growing, because if the platform grows, then the platform gets more funding, the platform has more incentive for people to innovate, to make the platform better. This is not weird. If you're a fan of something and that something starts getting more successful, I don't know why anyone would be upset about that or not be stoked about it. Or at the very worst, be neutral about it.
PC is doing better than PlayStation and Xbox. Clearly, we're dominating the console space. Clearly, Nintendo is doomed.
Well, there's over 900 million PC gamers right now. So, yes to everything you just said. Like, it's not how I would have said it, but the things, yes to all of them.
And the reality of the situation is, as always, quite a bit different. PC is not succeeding. PlayStation and Xbox are failing.
That's a weird way to put it. PlayStation and Xbox are certainly not doing as good as PlayStation and Xbox would probably hope for themselves to be doing, which is why people from Xbox and PlayStation, like high ups at those companies and those brands, have just been flat out saying that things need to change, that the console market is stagnant. It's true that the console market is not doing great right now. It's not to say it's doing poorly, but it's not growing the way they would probably hope it would be. Meanwhile, PC gaming is healthily growing year over year. It's growing like crazy. Again, there's over 900 million of us now. And Steam is breaking new concurrent player count records like every couple weeks, it seems. Like, two things can be true at once. The consoles are underperforming, absolutely, but the PC gaming space is growing. I don't know why only one of these things has to be true.
Which is a completely different issue, which people really need to wrap their little minds around and really need to understand.
Why did you just rub your ears so aggressively? Like, get a Q-tip, clean them out. When you have a lot of earwax in your ears, it makes them itchy. Clean your ears out.
That PC is not and never will be competitive with Nintendo hardware.
Okay, it's not trying to be. I have an Ernie Ball Stingray base. Unfortunately for Ernie Ball, that's never going to compete with my Subaru Impreza. Like, they're two different things. They both play games. I guess they're more similar than my base and my car. I guess I don't personally have a Subaru Impreza. I live in Colorado, so that's the first car that I thought of. Everyone fucking drives Subarus out here for some reason. But the PC is not trying to compete with Nintendo hardware. So why would we care?
Nintendo hardware can innovate.
Are we really suggesting that Nintendo hardware innovates more than PC hardware? Because that's just blatantly not true. Like, 95% of the innovations in gaming hardware come from the PC. Because it's an open marketplace where anyone can make new parts for the machines. Anyone can come up with new ideas and put them on the market. It's not one set console that's locked in place for a decade at a time. That's not to say Nintendo doesn't innovate. Nintendo absolutely has unique ideas, and they definitely do more interesting things with their console hardware than the other console manufacturers do. I'll give you that for sure. But to say they're more innovative than the PC market, like, where do you think gaming tech trends come from? There was a push for high frame rates. I wonder who started that. There was a push for high resolutions. I wonder who started that. The push for ray tracing, the push for frame generation, the push for things like DLSS. I wonder where those things started. Nintendo themselves have been pushing emulation like crazy. I wonder where they got that idea from.
It's much more affordable. It has way better games, more versatility, right?
We have all of your games. Like, all of your games belong to us. We can play them all.
As we all know, the Switch 2 is slated to be a huge, huge success.
Yes, but for completely unrelated reasons, as the PC is successful. Didn't you literally just say that, the PC is not successful, is that the consoles are not successful? But now here you are saying the PC is not successful, the Switch 2 is slated to be successful. Why can't they both be successful? Why are you incapable of recognizing that two unrelated things can be true at the same time? Also, why are you incapable of recognizing that there are, like, different segments of the gaming community within the video game industry? PC gamers and console gamers are two very different camps from one another. There's rollover, sure, but for the most part, these are two different camps of the gaming industry, which means it's perfectly acceptable for those two camps to be rising or falling, one rising, one falling, or both rising, both falling at the same time for reasons that are completely unrelated with the other.
Whatever cope that like PC gamers have, going into this season, the reality is Nintendo is going to keep growing and growing and growing.
Great, so is PC gaming.
While the PC community continues to stagnate.
Are you oh my god. I don't understand how you do this. I don't understand how you literally look reality in the face and you're just like, nah. The PC market is growing at a phenomenally great rate. It is a very healthy rate in which the PC gaming market is growing. Again, Steam is setting new concurrent player count records like once a month at this point.
Putting out absolute bombs of consoles like the Steam Deck.
The Steam Deck has been wildly successful. You just don't think that because you think a console can only be successful. It's really not a console, it's a handheld PC, but you think a piece of gaming tech can only be successful if it matches or surpasses Nintendo's numbers. The Steam Deck was never going to do that because the Steam Deck was never designed to do that. The Steam Deck is a rather niche item, and for a rather niche item, it's been doing extremely well. Valve has been very openly happy about the Steam Deck's numbers, that's why they continue to make it. Also, consider this my endorsement of the Steam Deck. I love my Steam Deck. That thing's awesome.
While struggling to reach even a third of the relevancy of Nintendo Switch, right?
Okay, the Steam Deck has a third of the relevancy of the Switch. Great. PC gaming as a whole has way more relevancy than a Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch has sold, what, a little over 100 million units? There's over 900 million PC gamers. Are we really going to talk about, like, sphere of relevancy right now?
The highly hyped up and sought after PC games, games like Witcher 3.
A game from 2015, which also sold phenomenally and still impacts the industry to this day. It's also not a PC game, it's a multi-plat.
Overwatch.
Another multi-plat that's almost 10 years old and also had tremendous influence and is also one of the best-selling games of all time, by the way. Did you know that? Overwatch is one of the best-selling games ever, but apparently it's not successful.
Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring.
Baldur's Gate 3 and Elden Ring, two of the most influential games of the last 5 years, and two of the best-selling games of the last 5 years, and two games that did phenomenally well on the PC specifically. If this is what you call flops, I really want to know what you think a successful game is. Like, I am begging you to make a one-to-one comparison right now. Did you hear my voice crack there? One-to-one comparison. My voice is tired. I played a show last night. That's my not subtle plug of my band, Curbside Anthem. We played a baller-ass show last night. It was very fun. We've been playing a lot of shows recently. Be on the lookout for more shows and some new music later this year once we get back in the studio this summer with a very special producer that we're very excited about. Have I done the seamless self-promotion good enough yet? Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you think my promotions are just seamless. I completely forgot what I was saying. Oh, direct one-to-one. Yeah, if you think games like Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3 and Overwatch and Witcher 3, if you think these games are like flops or disappointments, I am begging you to name just one game. Just one that you think is not a flop. Like, I really want you to just give me one comparison. I need to hear this. Your standards for successes and flops are just fascinating. I love hearing about them.
Like, none of that really comes close to what Nintendo puts out. Most times Nintendo puts out bigger games than those multiple times a year.
Wait, huh? I don't think they do. Nintendo puts out successful games, absolutely. But games on the level of Overwatch and Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3 multiple times a year? No, actually.
And that's kind of the reality of the situation we're in.
No, it's not. It's the situation you're in because you need to go outside. You got too much dust in your brain hole.
Seeing Xenoblade Chronicles X, a decade later come out on Nintendo Switch and not only be a huge success story, topping the eShop charts, it's also way more technically demanding and bigger than everything else on competing platforms, you know.
Wait, oh my god. Okay, so Xenoblade Chronicles X gets a Switch port, and it tops the digital, it tops the e-charts, right? First of all, what was it really competing with? Like, what else was coming out on the e-charts for it to compete with? Of course it was going to top the e-charts. But also, the game from 10 years ago is more technically demanding than anything else on competing platforms. Is that really where we're at right now? Also, I've had Xenoblade Chronicles X on the PC for years now. People have been emulating that game forever. So what do you want about? Also, I just realized I'm 2 minutes and 11 seconds into your video. That's it. 2 minutes and 11 seconds. I've been recording for almost 16 minutes. What is wrong with me? How do I do this? Why do you do this to me?
It is bigger than Starfield. It is bigger than Baldur's Gate 3. It is bigger than...
Can you stop saying Baldur's Gate 3? I don't know why you do this. I feel like you're doing it on purpose. You did this in a previous video. You called it Baldur's Gate 3, and I thought it was just you, like, mixing up your words or just, like, you know, slurring words, because we all do that. We all mix up words sometimes. But you've said it twice in this video now, Baldur's Gate 3. I swear to God you're doing this on purpose, because I made fun of you for it, for making me think of Balto, the wolf. So now there's people in my chat who say Balto's Gate. I love Balto's Gate. Balto's Gate 3 is my favorite anime of all time. And I swear you're doing this on purpose. There's little things that you do that really make me think you're, like, becoming self-aware. But then you just go back to not being self-aware, and it's so confusing.
It is bigger than Witcher 3. It's bigger than Skyrim, right?
Oh, okay. Xenoblade Chronicles is bigger than Witcher 3 and Skyrim. Let's just go with this. Let's see where this goes.
You know, Red Dead 2, like, the reality is Xenoblade Chronicles X is bigger than that. And not only is that game better than all of its immediate competition, it also has gotten a number of sequels, all on the same platform.
Wait, so a game is automatically, like it's a point of positivity if it has sequels? This coming from the same guy that made a whole video talking about how terrible and shitty Assassin's Creed Shadows is. I was going to make a video on that video, actually, but then this title caught my eye a little more, and it seemed more in my wheelhouse as the resident PC gamer spanking giver. It's me, I'm the PC gaming police. But this dude said in a recent video that Assassin's Creed is a terrible franchise. It's always been a terrible franchise. But you just said it's a point of positivity and a point of, like, inherent success and, like, an inherent indication of goodness if a game gets sequels on the same platform. So, like Assassin's Creed?
You know, Xenoblade Chronicles 1 Definitive Edition, 2, and 3. All of which have just reached new heights on Switch and have really proven that Nintendo has complete dominance over the JRPG genre, right?
What is Final Fantasy? Also, what is Elden Ring? Isn't Elden Ring technically a JRPG? I once said in a video that I don't like JRPGs, generally speaking, and someone was like, oh, but you like Dark Souls, and I was like, oh, I guess Dark Souls counts as a JRPG? But if you count Dark Souls as a JRPG, then Elden Ring counts as a JRPG, which means Nintendo doesn't have dominance over the JRPGs. And even if you don't count FromSoft games as JRPGs, again, Final Fantasy.
They completely demolished Square. They stole their talent right out from under them, and now they are reaping that reward.
Oh, so you do remember what Final Fantasy is, because you mentioned Square there. Oh, but also on the topic of Square, Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts.
And that is just one example of what's going on in the world of Nintendo. You know, you will never get to play Xenoblade on PC.
I can play Xenoblade on PC right now. I can do that. I've been able to do that.
You'll never get to play Fire Emblem. You'll never get to play Super Mario or The Legend of Zelda.
I can play all of those games. All of those games. I can personally confirm that I can play all those games. Well, I can't personally confirm Fire Emblem. I haven't personally played Fire Emblem on my PC. But Zelda and Super Mario games, I have played on my PC, yes. Like, everyone knows you can emulate Nintendo games. Why are we just denying this is real? You know you can emulate Nintendo games because you've made videos about how much you hate people who emulate games. You know this isn't true. You know you're talking out of your ass. You're not even, this is so low effort, man. You usually try harder than this. What's the deal? Like, are you doing okay? Is everything okay at home? Did mom take the kids? Wait, did your wife take the kids? Shit.
Right, it's over, right? New Nintendo consoles are going to continue to get made. They're going to continue to be successful. New Nintendo games are going to continue to do well and not be available on PC. And more, you will see Nintendo and its brands encroaching on other pieces of technology.
Are they encroaching? I mean, aside from the fact that everything you just said is wrong, because all of the PC. This is really difficult. All of the games on Nintendo platforms are either on PC now or will be on PC in the future because emulating Nintendo hardware is piss easy. Because Nintendo hardware is not that technically complicated or demanding. That's not a dig at Nintendo, because I've said many times, I actually respect the shit out of that. I respect the fact that Nintendo prioritizes game design and fun, like accessible products over having, ray traced fucking sweat pores and everything like the other consoles do. I actually respect that immensely, but that also means their games are very, very easy to emulate. These games are on PC. Just get over it.
Alarm clocks, merchandising, film.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you just say Nintendo is encroaching on the alarm clock industry? I'm going to play that clip again because I'm pretty sure that's what you said.
You will see Nintendo and its brands encroaching on other pieces of technology. Alarm clocks, merchandising, film.
Yeah, no, that's what you said. You said Nintendo is encroaching on the alarm clock industry. And I guess I was today years old when I learned there even was an alarm clock industry still. I thought people just used their fucking phones. Which, can we talk about how many previously common pieces of technology have just been completely phased out of everyday life? No one has a designated alarm clock anymore. It's on your phone. No one has a dedicated camera anymore unless you're an avid photographer. You just use your phone. Also, sometimes I just feel old as shit, and then I realize I'm not even old at all. It's just that the younger generation had no childhood and they're nostalgic for things that were just completely commonplace less than 10 years ago. There was some social media trend with the youngsters. I'm not old. I'm using the word youngsters. But did you guys see the trend of digital cameras, the young ones? The younglings. Anakin, the younglings. But did you see the digital camera trend? How it was trendy to have a digital camera? I just had a digital camera growing up. That's just what we did. Because phone cameras just weren't that good yet. And then 2-3 years later, phone cameras were good. So no one bought digital cameras anymore. We went from Polaroid nostalgia to digital camera nostalgia. And I'm just putting my foot down on that one. I'm all for trendy Polaroid stuff. I actually like that for the same reason I like film, actual film recordings on film. Same reason I like music on vinyl and on CDs and cassettes. Those are actual older pieces of technology that have unique appeals to them. But digital cameras, shut the fuck up. Use your fucking phone, trendy bitch. I hate you.
What have you. We're already starting to see the beginning of this. Recently I've begun to realize just how the Pokemon trading card game has had this major renaissance because
yeah, that's been going on. Thanks for catching up.
All the propaganda we were told as kids, oh, Pokemon's a dying fad. You don't need those cards.
That wasn't propaganda. That was just what was happening. The game got less popular. The card game got less popular. I grew up on the Pokemon card game. I was there for this. I hate when you do this. I hate when you start, recalling the past being a certain way, and the thing that you're recalling was literally a piece of my childhood, and I'm just that's not what happened. Pokemon, the card game, got less popular because that's just what happened. Pokemon as a brand was getting less popular, and then Pokemon as a brand was revived with Pokemon Go, and then it just kind of kept escalating from there, and then a few years ago, the popularity of the card game was revived. Because there's a new appeal to the cards themselves now. This isn't some conspiracy. This is just what happens when a brand is around for a while. There's peaks and valleys. That's just what happens.
All of that has gone completely out the window, and more people are picking up the game all the time, and all of the misconceptions that were shoved in your face from the beginning are beginning to fall apart, and people are beginning to realize just how good the Pokemon TCG has been all this time, right?
No, the card game's not very good. Sorry, it's just not. If Pokemon was your first card game, then sure, it's great. It was my first card game too. I've been there, I get it. But compared to other card games, no, the Pokemon the card game is not that good. Pokemon the cards are fun. Trading cards are fun. Pokemon the actual game, the actual card game, it's not very fun. Just play Yu-Gi-Oh like an adult. Or actually don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Sucks ass now. I stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh! After they started adding all the nonsense. I'm trying to remember what era of Yu-Gi-Oh! I tapped out in. It was around the 5Ds era. They started adding stuff after 5Ds that I just can't get into. All the things they added during the 5Ds era, I was like iffy on. GX was the prime era for the card game though. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! As a series, as like a canon, as a story, obviously the original series I think was the best. I think everyone can agree with that. But as for the card game Yu-Gi-Oh!, I think the GX era was the best. When we had fusions, we had XYZs, but we didn't quite have the synchros. That's what they're called. I fucking hate synchros, dude. And everything that's been added after synchros, the game has just gotten so overcomplicated. I made a joke in a video a while back of like, oh, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Just wouldn't hit the same if you were allowed to just throw cards at each other with no semblance and no rules. And then someone commented and like, Joe, you should check the new rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, you haven't played in a few years if you think that's not what the game is like now. Then I looked up what the game is like now, and I'm like, oh, shit, dated myself with that. I completely forget what I was talking about.
And the same could be true for the mainline games, the Pokemon brand as a whole, right? Like, all of the narratives we have seen in regards to Nintendo and its brand have completely collapsed. You know,
I like how you've been saying this for like 5 years now. You've been saying for like 5 years that like all the narratives and the assault on Nintendo, it's all collapsed. It's all fallen apart. Then like 6 months go by and you're like, now it's all fallen apart. 6 months go by. Now it's all collapsed. It's like, bro, I have to take a shit. I have to take a huge shit. I haven't shit yet today. The coffee is hitting. Okay, I'll let you go. I'll let you go a little bit more, but we got to wrap this up.
This idea that PC gaming is growing and going to surpass Nintendo consoles is completely out of touch with reality.
It's already surpassed Nintendo consoles, and we're wrapped up. I gotta go. Okay, toodles. Hi, hello. So we're going to do the Doofus Club shoutouts now, but just so you guys are aware, I'm out of my office for the next, 3, 4, 5 days. Some things are up in the air, so I'm not actually sure when I'm going to be back, which means the next 3, 4, 5 days worth of videos are going to be pre-recorded, which means the next 3, 4, 5 days worth of videos are all going to have the same Doofus Club, because obviously I can't pre-record videos and get real-time Doofus Club segments. So here's how this is going to work. This Doofus Club segment will run on the next 3, 4, 5 days worth of videos, which means you Doofus Club members and new Doofus Club members have 3, 4, 5 days worth of time to come up with the dumbest name possible when I get back to record the next one. That is your assignment. That is your homework. Do you understand me? Okay, let's start. Bastion the Gamer, 12-7YT, Ed Langer, Joe Tri-Crab Champion, Zombie Killer 5072, Shock My Nipples, Gold Pyrac, Zombie Fan, Alderoth 01, I Watch You While I Shit, Joe, Ultimate Jack, Doug Nigsy, he's back, Blast 1314, Snake Eyes 327, Devastator 2000, Edge Knight 1789, Raptor 1, my name was Gamer World, now it's I Rub My Nips to Joe, Wild Gamer 3001, Sad Your Freighter, MK2396E, The Crocodile in the Moat, Got Me, Joe, Help, Henthai, Ex Machina Gamma, Elite Wolf, Fire Hazard 105, Epion 504, if you read this, you gay, Klepto Penguin, Banshee, Partial Mean 8, GWXSS, Doom, Kaiju, Rasp the Wolf, Evanco, OK Toodles, Tech Gaming, Jungle Zone, Slim Jim, Really Zerd, Gaming with Dead People, Bender Fondue, All Games Video, Someone Help, I'm being held against my will, Max Killer, V2 Gaming, Biscuit 1101, Professor Twinkle Nips, Nick P. Stones, Horizon Forbidden West Remastered, Pope Raphael the Rat King, Jessica Shepard, Ricky Spiral, Ricky Tika Tabby, Muskie, Joe's Keyboard Fun, Kurumi the Steel Angel, I'm Commander Doofus, and this is my favorite club. Smash Jump, Sergeant Jason Bond, Baron von Vaderholm, Cyrus failed the homework, admonish me, Joe, forgot to cancel, now I can't afford a motorcycle, True Tech Skin 940, Sense of Nakage, Yim Blue, Skim Blue, Yim Blue, Vu Blue, Yum Blue. Hinoka's number 1 Saudi fan, Creed Warrior 23, Maxichev, We Need the PC Classic, AVP 2, Goat, Chap, Totally Insanity, Vendetta, Autry, Black Cobra, Anon for Law, Valk Salto, Knight of Cypher, Cloaked Onyx, Ninox, Reborn Mew with the fan art, Nick, ML04, I own 6 copies of Click 2006 on Blu-ray, What the Fan Art, Harman's Hair Grease Supplier, Wolf of Midnight, Stick Rider, Pig Venus, Kev Dog 1992, Steve Went Studios, Film McCracken, The Beastums, Ohm Gaming, Tariq Brown, Tom and Spokane, Hero Culture, Thornscape, Magadex, Severin Evans, Mr. Spawning 03, It's the Catalina Frickin' Wine Mixer, Pow Pow. Oh my god. Why Trouble, Donnie Weston, Nick Donegan, Gob Gobson, Rogue Winter 919, Bobby Hinner, Grimsy, Nippa, hanging for hire, the artist formerly known as Eldon the Noble. Frost Crystal, Jimmy Chops, Biogenesis, Ian in Action, Floppy Pingus 97, Michael Musical, Manga Key, Kushka, The Scruffy Skull, Ghost Ho, Ryusagi, Judge 06, Vasco, Femtanga, Raptor 10, Omnistef 94, Blue Hook, Joe, I forgot to cancel, now I can't pay the ransom, The Return of the King, but he's upside down, Schnorlax, and I am high as a kite as I write this, Jody Breeze, Smitty, Werber, Jagerman, Jensen, Maxler, El Massimo, Demetrius, Papajolo, Heroic Advertisement, Diego Garcia, Hey, it's Maddie, Kibikins, I American Idiot, Rebel Feet, Rebel Blood 80, Show Feet Joe. No. Your Oracle, The Last of Us is boring. Cope, oh no, it's Justin. Ranroid, Tony Wayne, Bloodline, Action Wolf 7, Joey Scoops, my name is Mud, Joe Taku, stop burning Joe's chicken, I'm fucking hungry. Calm, breathe in, breathe out, and go for the last 10. Wannabe Hobo, Jidge, Westa, Bill at 310 Char, Rob C, I am Veg, Good Groovy Banana, Kurt and Alan Smack, The Scrum Master. I own 4 copies of Tangled 2010 on Blu-ray. You have 3, 4, 5 days to make these names even worse. Toodles.